亚洲保时捷卡雷拉杯第14回合的赛事直播，我是本次赛季的主持人 Sammy。这个周末我们回到了大本营上海国际赛车场，展开2024年赛季最激烈的收官之战。在这边也特别向全球保时捷中心正在观看这场赛事直播的车迷朋友们问个好。Hello everyone, this is your host Sammy Ham and welcome to the finale of Porsche Carrera Cup Asia 2024 season. With 13 rounds at our back, we have now 3 final races back in our home track, Shanghai International Circuit. It's been raining the entire day here on the track, so let's hear from our pit reporter, Steve Dawson, on how was the qualifying sessions going.
Yeah, it was raining in qualifying, as you said, raining all day today. Not the kind of thunderous, hideous rain you get in Kuala Lumpur or Singapore, but raining all day today, and it'll be raining all day tomorrow. We've seen some aquaplaning actually, which is when the cars don't make contact with the track. They're just running on a film of water, and that can lead to seemingly endless spinning. We may well get some of that in the race today. Up at the front, it's Dylan Carrera on pole. He is 4 places ahead of the championship leader, Alessandro Guiretti. Now, among the Pro-Ams, Bao Jinlong's already wrapped that title up. But a couple of places and 1/10 of a second ahead of him, it's Eric Zhang. Among the amateur drivers, well, the fastest among them was Hendrik Jayasawadi. This is his first amateur pole, and he's in P13.
Seems like with the slippery tracks now, it's going to be really, really exciting for the final week. Thank you, Steve. Now let's pass it back to our commentators.
Hello everybody, good afternoon as it is coming up to 3:30 here in Shanghai. I'm John Hindorf with you for this final weekend of the 2024 season. A weekend of course that sees the return of the endurance format for our final race of the season. Still plenty in play. We'll take you through the championship connotations in a little while, but it's going to be all about who can deal with the wet weather. As you heard Steve and Sammy saying, it's been raining here all day. Qualifying yesterday was held in particularly difficult conditions, which actually led to some incidents, and indeed we had the 777 and the 888 coming together. They've had to have some remedial work as well for Lu Gervais, and Yang Sheng is in the 888 this weekend because young Yatsi is at the FIA World Motorsport Games over in Europe. The good news is, however, that we have a record equaling 29 cars entered. Let's hope we get them all onto the grid for the challenges ahead in this first of our standard length race. So 30 minutes plus 1 lap, or probably, I don't think we'll get to that actually unless we have a couple of interventions by the safety car. Our longer race, the final race, the second race on Sunday at the end of the championship, will be over 40 minutes plus a lap. 43 minutes plus a lap to be precise. Just checking out the situation on the circuit at the moment. We have had other cars on the track, but even cars on road tyres have been struggling, and that is one of the reasons we're slightly delayed. It's a balmy 23 Celsius, but it's the rain that has been killing us. Chance of rain 85% according to the weather. Well, that would have given us 15% of having no rain. In fact, it has been raining pretty much all day from when the teams have arrived at the track. This morning went through a couple of qualifying sessions. We do have 2 separate qualifying sessions. As usual, 1 session for races 1 and 2, the best lap and the second best lap, and then a separate session for the longer race. It is 25 degrees on track for the Michelin tyres. Let's go to our pole position sitter, Dylan Pereira.
Thank you, commentators. Now joining me on the track today, we have President and CEO of Porsche China, Mr. Alexander Polish, and also the series manager, Mr. Alexandre Imperatori, joining us today. So let's start with Mr. Polish.
Yeah.
So I understand that this is your first Carrera Cup weekend in Shanghai, am I right?
That's right, yeah, it's fantastic. I mean, the weather is great. Not really, but this is typical Porsche weather. You know, we love the rain, and this will be a fantastic motorsports here, and I'm really thrilled and excited by the atmosphere here. A lot of spectators, very motivated teams, so we are set for a great race, I think.
It's great to finally have you here joining us today. So now let's ask Alex, because now we are about to wrap up the season. So can you share with us how has been being a series manager for the first time gone for you?
Yeah, it's been a great season. First season as series manager. Overall, you know, it's been fantastic for PCCA as a whole because we've had our biggest grid ever with 27 season registered entries. We're up to even 29 this weekend. So really tremendous commitment from our teams. We have 8 dealer entries as well. So great to have the support from our dealers and importers. We've had a lot of highlights. First of all, coming back here in Shanghai with the Formula One at the beginning of the season. We've just wrapped up in Singapore last time out. And also, you know, we had the revamp of our talent pool, so we're always very committed to our young drivers. So really a lot of highlights, a lot of newcomers this year who have done a really good job in the championship.
That sounds amazing. With the series just goes from strength to strength. Now, Mr. Polish, we have 12 Carrera Cups around the world, and I'm sure Porsche must have a reason to place such an emphasis in motorsports.
Absolutely. So motorsports is our DNA. That's where we're coming from. We celebrated 75 years of the brand last year. And the first car that was built under the Porsche brand was immediately taken to a car race. So this is where we are coming from. This is extremely important for us. All the emotions, you know, all the dreams that come through here on the racetrack, that is really truly Porsche. And we see it also as a technology lab. A lot of innovations that end up in the street-produced cars actually stem from the racetrack, such as the PDK, such as the turbocharger. So for us, racing is really very important.
Sounds like you are quite a fan yourself as well, so we hope to see more of you in the future. Thank you so much. And now, Alex, we are just about to get into the race, so can you share with us what can we expect from the final rounds?
Yes, I think we have a lot of to look forward to. It's 3 races this weekend, so even more points on offer, which is very special for a championship finale. 80 points on offer, and the top 3 is separated by just under 32 points. So everything is still to play for, but it's not just in the overall, but also in the AM class, because we have a close fight, you know, for the title between Eric Kwong and Mung Kong. So still a lot of fights to be expected on track. Pro-Am is already decided, but there's still something to be fought for second place. So we're looking forward to a lot of exciting fights, and the weather is playing a role this weekend, and you know, I'm sure it's going to spice things up.
Thank you so much, both of you, for joining us today. It's going to be a really exciting one, so let's pass it back to our commentators.
Sammy with the VIPs on the pole position at the front of the grid. We'll hear from our pole position driver Dylan Pereira hopefully in a little bit. I think the drivers probably want to keep their doors closed at the moment and keep any moisture out of the cars. You do not want them steaming up through this race coming up. Looks like I think we've got all the cars on the grid, even after the issues that we had earlier on. The 3 categories, remember, are decided by the driver's experience. And now, in fact, we can speak to our pro pole sitter.
Number 5, Dylan Pereira. Let's have a word with Dylan. First of all, great qualifying round. Does the rain suit you?
I think I like the rain, so yeah. As a band, we are quite struggling, but we learned from it, so we find a solution. And yeah, I normally quite quick in the rain. I really feel confident. So yeah, we did everything quite nice. I think double, like pole position now, and position for a third race is quite good. So yeah, trying to get the maximum points.
Yeah, exciting times. 3 races left. You're 32 points adrift in the Drivers' Championship. What are your hopes for today?
I think I just try to do the best I can. For sure, I try to win the race and try to take as much points as I can. And then we see, I think 32 points is a lot, but it can change quite quickly. So I try to get maximum points, and we will see where we end up.
Good luck, Dylan.
Thank you.
Well, just had the grid confirmed, and in fact, we will not see either Liu Xiaowei or Yang Shuang in the 777 and the 888 cars after that accident earlier on. So only 27 cars to take part here today. Got a couple of grid penalties to tell you about as well. Zhao Qi picking up a 3-place grid penalty in the 117 from Phantom Global Racing after an incident at Singapore in the last race weekend. Talk about the other grid penalties in a moment. But let's go to Pro-Am, Eric Chang.
Car number 77, Eric Zhang, is in P8, first among the Pro-Ams. Eric, how was that qualifying round for you? It seemed good to us.
It was very slippery on the new tarmac, but I think I managed to find some traction, so I was able to get my pole, I think, for the first time this season. Yes.
Can you hold off the drivers behind you?
I'll try my best.
Drive safely.
Yes, thank you.
So, Eric doing fine work. We'll talk about that track resurfacing in just a minute, because it has had an impact, both positively and negatively, actually, on racing. Negatively with the rain, because it being so new. We'll talk about that in a little while. Adrian De Silva, by the way, got a 3-place grid penalty, but he didn't qualify very well anyway for this first race, and he will actually start dead last on the inside of grid row 14 in 27th position for the Earl Bamber Motorsport AM car. Let's go to our pole sitter now in the AM category, and the first pole for Hendrik Jaya Sawatedi.
Position among the amateur drivers for Hendrik Jaya Sawatedi. Congratulations. How do you think you'll go from here?
Well, I'll try my best. The conditions are challenging. However, we are confident from the qualifying today. Let's see where we'll end up today.
All right, we love that qualifying round. Have a great race today. Stay safe.
Thank you so much. I will.
Easier said than done, I think, Steve, in these conditions. The rain has been steady, if not heavy, as we're just coming up to 20 minutes before 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I have to say the forecast for tomorrow and our 2 races, one at the start of the race day and then the endurance part of our weekend, the longer race, is the very last thing tomorrow, so around about this time tomorrow for the slightly longer race. Let's have a look at the championship points. It is tighter than a tight thing that has been wound right up at the front of the field, with the top 3 still in with a chance and separated perfectly. 16 from Giretti to Jobert and 16 from Jobert to Carrera, with Martin Ragginger still mathematically in the points. Batchin Long tied up the Pro-Am class last time out, but second position still up for grabs, and Eric Chang trying to close in on the 2 ahead of him. Where, as far as in Am, Eric Kwong not quite there yet, with just on 27 points ahead of the Earl Bamber Motorsport Mungkong Sathin Thirakul, the driver in second place. And with these conditions, really, I know we say this, but I'm not building this up at all to say that anything could happen. The circuit itself is just over 3.3 miles, or nearly 5.5 kilometres around. It is the classic Shanghai circuit that was first opened in 2004. We've seen WEC here, we've seen Formula 1 here. Overtaking areas, well, probably through turns 1 and 2, as well as at 5, the hairpin, into 10, and of course into 14. That entrance to the back straight on the bank parabolica, super important to get some run out of there and get as much momentum. The whole track has been resurfaced. Now, earlier on, when it was dry, just after the resurfacing was done, we saw track times in this category, because we had an 8-hour race here, which actually Eric Kwong was in, and did about half of that 8-hour race. anything between 1.5 and 3 seconds quicker. We've not seen that this weekend, of course, because of the weather conditions. However, if it does dry up, I will remind you that our lap record here goes back to 2019 in the old 991.2 Carrera Cup car. Philip Hamprecht still holds that on a 207.7. We were round about 10 seconds away from that when we did the qualifying. Here's how they'll line up then for round 14 of 16 this year. It is Dylan Pereira in the number 5 Team Shanghai Hyundai BWT car on pole position. Alongside him we'll have Mathis Chaubert for Toro Racing. On row number 2, Brock Gilchrist. Welcome to the championship, Brock. He's from Team Porsche New Zealand and is the young driver that has won his way through into this. And this part of his young Porsche driver experience, he's got the championship leader Alessandro Giretti for Team Jebsen in the blue and white 55 car for company. Martin Ragginger, who is aced in wet conditions for Porsche Holding, the 86 car with Rodrigo Diaz Almeida for R&B on row 3. Nazim Asman is in 7th position for Sima Derby Racing Team. Toro Racing's Eric Zhang is the best of the Pro-Ams, we heard from him. And in the AM category we go down to 12th for Eric Kwong for Bergwerk Motorsport. Out of position, Munkong Sathin Thirakul, a little bit further down than he would have wanted. Watch out, Jackie Wu, by the way, great qualifying for Jackie Wu. He normally races better than he qualifies in the 969, but he's up in 21st position. Edwin de Silva, we mentioned in the AM category, he's all the way down in the 27th position. And just a quick reminder that we won't see Liu Xiaovei in the 777 or Yen Xing, who is subbing this weekend for Young Yatsi in the 888 Phantom Global Racing car, as Young Yatsi is off at the FIA Motorsport Games. Those two cars came together, and in fact the stewards of the meeting saying that the next race that Liu Xiaovei starts in that 777, he will have to start from the pit lane. So looks like they've deemed him given him the incident responsibility, if you will. There is no dry line around the 3.388 miles of 5.451 kilometres of the circuit. We are getting a start behind the safety car as it stands at the moment. Haven't seen that up from race control, but the time has started. It is 12 laps or 30 minutes, and yes, we are hearing from race control that we have got a safety car start. So the clock has started, and Dylan Pereira, of course, is in behind. The rain lights have been asked to be on, and you can understand why, because the amount of spray that the Michelin race tyres are throwing up is substantial. Now, I did say in dry conditions that this new surface here at Shanghai would be about 1.5 to 3 seconds quicker. The problem is, of course, it hasn't really been able to be rubbered in this weekend because of the wet, and because it is such a new circuit, it has been in places still a little bit slippery, and there has been at times so much water on the top of the track that puddles have formed, and that leads to every driver's nightmare in whatever racing that they do around the world, which is aquaplaning. That is where there's enough water on the track to get between the track and the tyre, and therefore, even with the very efficient Michelin rain tyres, with effectively no contact between the tyres and the track, because the water is forming a barrier layer, the cars can quite easily become very, very expensive boogie boards. So we've had effectively an extra warm-up lap to get some heat into the Michelin tyres, but the clock has started. So this is lap 1 of the race. Dylan Pereira will bring them around as the Porsche safety car has pulled into the pits lane. But it will be a single file start, which gives Pereira a slightly greater advantage. Just watch out for Brock Gilchrist in 3rd position. There goes the flat 6 4-litre engine of Dylan Pereira. The green flag waves as we complete lap 1 of racing. Dylan Pereira then with a decent gap back to Mathis Joubert and Brock Gilchrist right there with championship leader in the 55 blue and white Jebsen car, Alessandro Giovetti, the Italian, getting a bit sideways, coming through turn 2 as they're coming down the hill now to turn 3. The wall tells you how much height difference there is between the entrance to turn 2 and the exit from turns 3 and 4. The leader has done a perfect job. Dylan Pereira then for Team Shanghai Hyundai PWT, leading out on the far side of the circuit through turns 5 and 6. At the moment, he's got the best view of anybody else. But even Dylan Pereira has the windscreen wiper going. And let me tell you, a windscreen wiper on a racing car is the absolute last resort for drivers. They hate using it because you can smear the windscreen quite easily. And so they will only use it if conditions are bad, and quite clearly here at Shanghai this weekend conditions are really bad. So the drivers all settling down into their rhythm. As far as the classes is concerned, Munkong Sathin Thirakul in the number 76 car has moved his way up into 14th position, and that is now into 2nd in the AM class, gone past Henry Kwong, who leads that championship. And those two are the first 2 in that championship. Sorry, Henry's in 3rd. It's his brother Eric Kwong who leads the championship. So Munkong at the moment, Sathin Thirakul, doing absolutely what he can in terms of putting cars between himself and therefore points gaining back on Eric Kwong. It was 27 points between those 2 as the race started. That championship very much still in play with 80 points up for grabs in the 3 races this weekend. And you have to think that with these conditions, a non-finish is just a half spin or a slide away, because if you get onto the grass here, you're not going to slow down. And although this is a Formula 1 track with gravel traps, then a non-finish could quite easily be on the cards for a small mistake. Nazim Azman taking the outside line as he's looking for grip at the moment. Eric Chang behind him was the pole sitter in Pro-Am, and the weather has just not let up this weekend. The Michelin rain tyres are good enough to clear the water. We can see a little bit of racetrack, but it is still raining. So as soon as the cars have gone by, you've got about 5 or 10 seconds where there's a little bit of a set of railway tracks, if you will, if a group of cars have been through, but then immediately that disappears. Dylan Yip in the yellow and red car. Oh, and we have had a spin, and just what we were talking about there, that is Lu Wei, not registered for the championship. Lu Wei taking the R&B racing car that we've seen Ju Joao racing earlier on in the year. They've been sharing that car. So Lu Wei spinning out of 11th position, and the man on the move at the moment is Munkong Sathin Thirakul, who is closing in, and I reckon he's now leading in the Pro-Am category in 13th overall. What has happened to our pole sitter there, Hendrik Jayasawatidi, has spun down to probably 4th or 5th in that class, 5th indeed, 4th indeed in that class. So Munkong, and now Munkong's dropping down as well on the timing and scoring. So the 23 of Eric Kwong's gone back. So all sorts of action going on in the early teams. Up to 3rd in that category is Hubo in the number 22, and Hubo then now moving through the field in the Z-Speed Motorsport. The 3 C-Speed cars entered this weekend because we have new driver Lu Lika as well in the number 3 for Z-Speed. At the front of the field, Dylan Pereira leads out for the Team Shanghai Honda BWT. This is a very measured drive by Dylan, and this is good news for him and the championship. Remember, he sits in 3rd at the moment, 16 behind Mathis Jaubert, who is second, who is second in this race and second in the championship, and 16 behind Alessandro Giretti as the GT Silver number 3, and that is the driver we were just talking about for Z-Speed Motorsport, Lu Lika. And spinning, had made up some positions actually, and towards the early part of the top 20, but down in 24th now. So Dylan Pereira in the distinctive pink and white and blue BWT sponsored Shanghai Honda machine. We do have the dealer trophy as well, of course, very prestigious, and Team Jebsen hold a scant lead there of 19 points over Toro Racing. Team Shanghai Honda BWT in 3rd position. Fastest lap for Mathis Jaubert last time around, 2:14.7. We were qualifying in 15s, 16s and 17s at the sharp end of the grid. So I find myself, difficult to say this, and I can't really believe I'm saying this, I think the conditions are getting better. I may have just cursed what is going on. If you are just joining us around the world, hello. Just coming up to 4 o'clock in the afternoon, 7 minutes before 4, for our first of 3 races in the final weekend of Porsche Carrera Cup Asia. John Hindhaugh with you, and the action in a very inclement scene at Shanghai. And at the moment, Dylan Pereira with a comprehensive lead, 1.6 seconds to the second place car of Mathis Jaubert, who has just done the fastest lap of the race with a 2:14.8 lap record round here, 2:07. That tells you just how difficult the conditions are. Brock Gilchrist, a man from Auckland in New Zealand, a young man, young driver, Porsche New Zealand young driver in the number 84 car. He is in 3rd position, and 4th, our championship leader. Now, another car running on down at turn 6 is the very attractive light blue number 669. That's Hans Onling, Porsche own rental 619. Hans Onling not Hans Onling not registered for points, but welcome to the championship. 2 cars not starting if you are just joining us after an incident earlier on today. Lu Gervais in the 777 and Yang Chong in the 888. Yang Chong in for Yung Yat Si who normally drives that Phantom Global Racing car. And he's away at the FIA Games in Europe. Now, battle for position, and that position is 6th and 7th, and Nazim Azman, Rodrigo Diaz Almeida battling away. Nazim in the red and white car of 7th, now back up to 6th last time around with the mainly white car of Rodrigo Diaz Almeida for R&B Racing. He started on the outside of row 3, just dropping back a little bit. Different lines through turn number 6 and heading through the sweeping left-hander of turn 7 and 8. Slightly tighter left-hander at turn 9 coming up. Nobody using the curves, as you will understand in these conditions. Through a short straight turn 10 to 11. 12 leading onto the who are batting out Francis in the green red car, and that is for 11th and 12th position. Very, very difficult indeed to Francis Chia and Rick Wong battling for 11th and 12th. Excuse me. Of course, I am forgetting that Francis Chia is in the Pro class. Pro Am class, excuse me. Carrera just being closed down on at the front of the field by Matthias Joubert, who's put consecutive fastest laps of the race in. It's down to 1.5 seconds now, with Brock Gilchrist another 3 seconds further back, nearly 4 actually. He's got 8/10 on Alessandro Giretti, and Martin Ragging another 2/10 further back, and then it's 9 seconds back to Nazim Azman in the number 6 car, in the 6th place in the number 17 car. Giretti battling Brock Gilchrist ahead of him. Brock not registered for championship points, but Alessandro will want to get through just in case there's anything goes on at the front of the field. At the moment, 3rd, 2nd and 1st in the championship, the 1st, 2nd and 3rd in this race. Eric Zhang in 8th position leads the Pro-Am category in that very distinctive dark red and gold Toro Racing livery. It's become a classic, hasn't it, really? Good to see a number of the drivers from this championship over in the Porsche Endurance Cup. There's a little spin for Henry Kwong in the yellow and black. It's number 91 car. But he's managed to get that back facing the right direction. It's a 15th position, I think he's just spun away there. Actually, I'm not sure I saw the 98 of Yang Bu coming through. Now Yang Bu in the R&B Racing car. Now, positional change as Chiretti has got by Brock Gilchrist in the red, white and black Team New Zealand car, but the Porsche young driver from Auckland is fighting back through turns 3 and 4. I was about to say, it was good to see more than a handful of drivers at Spa earlier on in the year for the inaugural Porsche 992 Endurance Cup, powered by Porsche Motorsport, the Michelin Endurance Cup. Hopefully we'll see that repeated next year with some more drivers from this championship, and a couple of cars that were pretty much entirely crewed by drivers from the Porsche Carrera Cup Asia Championship. Toro Racing number 99, Mathis Gilbert in second place, the Frenchman. got to within a second and a half or so, but Dylan Carrera has upped his pace and responded at the front of the field, and it's back up to 2 seconds for the moment. So they're about halfway around this lap. Chiretti, now note this down, 5.2 seconds behind the leaders at the moment, or at least behind second place. So keep an eye open for that gap. Turn 6 is where it's all happening at the moment, as Bajin Long makes an unusual mistake for the Phantom Global Racing driver about the champion-elect in Pro-Am. He has been superb this year. Only twice that he hasn't won the race. Buranam second race and Sepong second race as well. He's been mighty this year, Bajin Long. A little mistake there. He's still leading the category, I think. I'm just seeing if Francis Chat got through. I don't think so. Well, I'll check next time they come across the start-finish line and we get a proper look at them. Pereira holding his lead at 2 seconds. Lap 9 of 13, just under 8 minutes to go. And a 2-minute 14, 2-minute 15 laps at the front of the field. So 4 laps is about 8 minutes. We might not get the full trip here. It'll just depend when the leader comes across the line. Super impressive driving by everybody in these bad conditions. Bajin Long just ahead of Eric Kwong, so has dropped behind Francis Chia. So Chia up to 10th place, but more importantly is up a place in Pro-Am, which is still being led by Eric Tsang in 8th position in the number 77 car for Toro Racing. Dylan Pereira leading from Gilbert, from Chiretti. Brock Gilchrist down to 3rd. Martin Ragginger still in 4th position, but is with Brock Gilchrist now. And that is a bit of a battle for 4th and 5th. Eric Tsang has Dylan Yip behind him in the yellow and red car. Dylan for team the Shanghai International Circuit. And of course Eric Tsang, as we mentioned, in those that distinctive livery for Toro. Toro always with a red background, and the sides of the cars are different colours. So in Eric's case it's gold. There's a white car in there as well for the other team car for the second of the Toro cars, but effectively it's the same design down to turn 14 and 15. A little bit of a defensive line taken by Eric Tsang in 8th position. I suspect the reason he doesn't want to let Dylan go through, notice there's different number colours on the windscreen and the back screen of the cars. That denotes the different categories. Dylan Yip is a pro driver, so has a white number. Eric Tsang has a red number, which is Pro-Am. But I think the reason that Eric doesn't want to let him go through is because he knows that Francis Chia and Bajin Long are about 4 seconds further back, and it probably doesn't want to drive in the spray if Dylan does get through. At the moment he's just driving his own race, and I think that's very smart from Eric. Eric in 4th position at the moment in his championship, the Pro-Am Championship. He is 23 points behind Li Chao in that championship. Li Chao down in 16th position at the moment, and 5th in that Pro-Am category. So would make some points back. Every single championship position being battled for down through turns 2 and 3 at the moment for Adrian de Silva and Han Songling. Songting in the all blue, light blue car. 4 and a bit minutes to go, and all of a sudden Dylan Pereira has squeaked out and doubled his lead to 4 seconds from Gilbert in second place. Alessandro Giretti has put the fastest lap in third to close that 5.2 second gap to 3.3. Now, was that Giretti has speeded up, but Gilbert lost a couple of seconds on that last lap around. So easy to do, mind you. Not a Michelin tyre put wrong by Dylan Pereira at the front of the field. Dylan Pereira, the man from Luxembourg, and we did have the Luxembourg national anthem playing a couple of times last time out on the streets of Marina Bay, Singapore, with the Formula One weekends. A couple of cracking races there. If you haven't seen them, go back, you can do. Have a look on Facebook or the Porsche Carrera Cup Asia YouTube channel, which is also where you can watch the 2 races tomorrow if you're tuning in via other means. There's no need to register, although we quite like you to subscribe, that would be nice. But there's no need to register, there's no fees to pay, so please don't. This is a free-to-air broadcast on those platforms. Stay up to date with all the news from this last round of the championship via PorscheCarreraCupAsia.com or Porsche Carrera Cup on Facebook, as we head into the final rounds of the championship tomorrow. One at the start of the day here in Shanghai, and one at this time. That is our 43-minute plus 1 lap endurance race. Tell you all about that when we get to it. Real success when we had the first one in Sepang, and there's a little extra incentive as well for the drivers who win their class. Giretti has caught and passed Mathis Gilbert. That'll be reflected on the timing the next time across the line. So the 55 car of Giretti, with now I think 1 lap to go, we will get in the full distance. Yeah, last lap board is out. Giretti 7.5 seconds away from Dylan Pereira, but will increase his lead on Mathis Gilbert in second place. But Dylan Pereira will take points out of the leader and significantly out of second place in the championship. Now, Dylan Pereira, we've not seen much of him because he's just been doing such a great job at the front of the field. His lap time's metronomic. Not sure if they've got a history of fine watchmaking in Luxembourg, but Dylan Pereira has been clocking in with monotonous regularity across the start-finish line. Another 2:14.5 last time around against a 15.1 from Giretti, and a 20.5 from Gilbert. Really struggling towards the end of the race. And Martin Ragging is with him now as well. Excuse me, Brock Gilchrist, that is, in the red, white and black Team New Zealand car. And that could be a spot on the, or just off the podium, should I say. Brock Gilchrist at the moment in 4th position. Ragging is right there as well, you know. This is not over. And Gilchrist in his debut in the Carrera Cup goes through easily as Gilbert struggling to get slowed down, and then Gilchrist makes a mistake on the far side of the circuit, and Ragginger looking for grip round the outside. The Kiwi holds the more traditional racing line, lost grip at one stage but then powers out to the corner. Meantime, 2 corners to go for a lights to flag victory. Dylan Pereira makes up points positions, closes down the gap to second place, closes down the gap to first, and takes the first of 3 races at Shanghai. for Team Shanghai Hyundai on home ground for the BWT supported team. Side by side coming into the final corner. Brock Gilchrist, the New Zealand debutant in the black and white car, to sprint to the line, and the drag race is won by who? Oh, Ragginger, believe it or not. Ragginger got through. Gilchrist, Ragginger and Joubert in very close competition on that last lap, and it looks like Mathieu Joubert has dropped back down, so we've lost him in the spray. I hadn't realised, I knew Ragginger was there, I hadn't realised he'd got so close, and he will be on the podium. Brock Gilchrist then in fourth, Nazim Asman comes up into fifth, Rodrigo Diaz Almeida in sixth. Our Pro-Am winner is Eric Zhang in seventh, just ahead of Francis Chia. And waiting for our Pro-Am leader to come through, and that's Eric Kwong, who stayed ahead of Munkong Sathin Thirakul after Sathin Thirakul had led. That was 11th and 12th, with the number 22 of Hu Bo in third position there. So Sang from Francis Xie and Bao Long, after that mistake, back up to third in class for the champion-elect. Sang for Toro, well inside the top 10 again, which is what Eric aims for, to be honest. Seventh for him. So the first race done and dusted, with a win for Dylan Pereira by almost 8 seconds in the final run-in. And Alessandro Chiretti increases his lead. It's not a good finish for Mathieu Joubert, who dropped down to 9th overall, and I think that will put him 7th in his class. Looks like there might be damage to the left rear wheel of Mathieu Joubert for Toro Racing. I've got him having taken the checkered flag, yeah. Left rear tyre is down. I think there's been contact there. Might have been both sides, actually, the way he was looking. So after the checkered flag, he's pulled off. And yeah, absolutely. Left rear Michelin tyre. And I think that's side-to-side contact coming to the flag. But that was after the flag that he pulled off at turn 2. He's not got too long a walk back to the paddock from there. The marshals were asking him if he's left the steering wheel on the car. He has. Saw some argy-bargy coming to the line for third position. It was Mathieu Joubert who crossed the line to start the last lap in third from Brock Gilchrist and Martin Ragginger. And as they were going down to turn 14 and 15, Gilchrist was right there, and so was Ragginger, and we lost Mathieu Joubert, second in the championship. That is not a good day for him, and that 16-point advantage that he had over Dylan Pereira has been reduced considerably. Pereira closes in on Chiretti. Joubert will continue in second place, but has lost ground to the Jebsen driver Chiretti in the championship standings. Dylan Pereira could do no more. He won the race, although Chiretti did get fastest lap. So it's Team Shanghai Hyundai from Jebsen and Porsche holding your top three. Brock Gilchrist nets a fourth position from a second row start in his debut. Then Nazim Asman and Rodrigo Diaz Almeida for the top six. Eric Zhang ahead of Francis Chia and Bao Long in 10th. They're the top three in the Pro-Am. Eric Kwong, Munkong Sathin Thirakul and Hu Bo for Z-Speed Motorsport are your top three in Pro-Am. They will be on the podium. Pro-Am leader than Bao Long fighting back after a mistake early on. Eric Kwong getting points in the championship chase in Manthong staying in touch there. Remember, we didn't see either Liu Xiaowei in the 777 R&B racing or Yang Xun in the 888 Phantom Global Racing car. Those cars damaged earlier on this morning in the sessions, and the team's working on them. Did think we might see the 777. That was the word from the pits, and I'm indebted to my Chinese colleague Nick for running up and down the pit lane for me. Let's head down to Parc Fermé and the winners' interviews.
From the starting line to the finish line, Dylan Pereira has just made the Drivers' Championship. Very exciting for the rest of this weekend. How does that feel?
I think I did a really good job, no mistakes, so we tried everything we could, try to learn also from this race. I think the next races will be rain also, I think the others will improve also, so we need to even find more and more time. And I think, yeah, just from the start on, I think I did a really good start already and had quite a gap, and then, yeah, just going on more and more, and I think, yeah, doing mid-race to the end, I think the car was really good, so, yeah. Really happy, and hopefully we can repeat it in the next races.
Well, we'll look forward to seeing that. How important was it to be in front at the start and not have all of that water splashing into your screen, because the driver behind you would have got very disturbed by everything you were bringing up with your rear wheels?
Yeah, I think it's quite helpful when you're starting on P1. I think you have a clear view and you can have your braking markers, you have everything in front of you, so that helps for sure. I think at the end, if you're P2 or P3, it's still kind of okay, but for sure if you go P10 or something, yeah, you cannot see anything.
Maybe the most important race of the season coming up first thing tomorrow. You're not at the front. How are you going to approach that?
Yeah, I think let's see the weather conditions. Looks like it's going to be raining. Yeah, we were quite strong today. Hopefully we have a good start tomorrow, and then we will go on from that one. So I think everything is possible. We could see today, and that's why I will try to push as maximum as I can. As I said at the beginning of the race, I want to get as much points as I can have, and then we see where I end up.
Great race. Well done, Dylan.
Thank you.
I'm looking at the qualifying times now for tomorrow's race. It was the second best time from Q1 this morning. We had a second separate qualifying session for the endurance race. I reckon Mathis Joubert is on pole position. Alongside him will be Brock Gilchrist, and Dylan Pereira with a 17.1 will be behind the pole sitter. He'll be on the inside of row 2. Alessandro Giretti, no, it'll be with an 18 flat. It'll be Martin Ragginger in P4. P5 for the championship leader from Team Jebsen. That's at the moment. We haven't got a confirmed grid as it stands at the moment. Oh no, Rodrigo Diaz Almeida is ahead of Giretti as well. I think we'll have to keep an eye on that for tomorrow when we get the grid sheet. Right, let's pick up some more winners with Steve Day.
Eric Zhang just told me that he's overwhelmed with emotion, a little bit out of breath as well. Eric, how are you feeling?
Wow, I'm so happy. I can't tell you, I can't explain my emotion right now. I've been fighting for this moment for 2 years. I mean, it's probably one of the toughest conditions we've done in the past 2 seasons. And I still remember you asking me when I got my second position in last year. And you asked me in a 12-lap race, I was 11 seconds behind Bao. How did I feel about that? And that I just kept that in mind. I was like, I just need to catch up. I need to improve. Yeah. And today, here we are.
And you got 2 more races to come this weekend. I mean, is this it for you? Just happy, put it to bed, or you want to go really hard tomorrow and tomorrow afternoon?
I think until midnight today, I'll be happy. But after the clock resets, I reset myself, and 2 more races to go tomorrow.
Don't party too much.
I won't. Right, thank you very much.
A faultless drive from Eric Zhang. A couple of good races in race 2 and race 3 at Sepang. He'll be annoyed that with a DNF at Bang Sen and Marina Bay, first race at Bang Seng and second in Singapore, and that's really put him out the championship hunt in Pro-Am. But that was picture perfect from Eric Zhang in the number 77 Toro racing car, a team with great history, and Reminder that he was up in the top 10, 7th position. See if we can catch our AM leader, AM winner, should I say. And Steve is doing great work down there. He's rounded up our AM winner.
Eric Kwong is with me, winner among the amateurs. Eric, you had a time knocked off in qualifying, which pushed you back from pole position. So this now must feel quite gratifying.
Yeah, I'm very happy. Yeah, a lot of downs earlier, but I'm very happy with this result. Yeah,
we had a lot of people, particularly at the back and particularly among the amateurs, just go off at corners. I mean, slippery underfoot, right? How did you manage to stay on track?
Yeah, I mean, I try to stay close to the guy in front and then try to not make mistake. Take maybe half a step, a little bit easier, more conservative, and then try to make sure the car is on the track, and that's it.
Staying close to the guy in front, though, didn't that mean you had a lot of water on your windscreen?
Yeah, can't see most of the time. You just need to guess the marker, guess the break point. Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be any drier tomorrow, but we look forward to seeing you racing. Well done.
Yeah, thank you so much.
So still only twice off the top step of the podium this season for Eric Kwong, and just eases slightly further away from Mungkong Sathin Thirakul, who must be ruining the first race here at the start of the season. And he only bagged, actually over the weekend he only bagged 16 points, but only 1 point in that first race here at the start of the season, if you cast your mind back to the start of the year. And Mungkong coming off a win at Marina Bay last time out, was in good spirits. We were talking to him earlier on in the week and had his opportunity there, but has had to give best to Eric Kwong. And that championship continues, though, with still the 2 races to come this weekend. So let's remind ourselves what went on in that first race of 3 this weekend. So excellent driving by everyone concerned in the difficult conditions. 1 or 2 small mistakes made. Henrik Jayasawati dropping down from his pole position in the AM class. Alessandro Giaretti coming through the field and making his championship lead a little bit bigger. But it was drama right towards the end of the race, particularly for 3rd position. Eric Tsang and Ajit Long were having a scrap earlier on. No one with anything for the pace of Dylan Pereira. The Jepson 55 Giaretti driven car going by Mathis Jobert, who slipped back in the end results. Brock Gilchrist, the young New Zealander, fighting hard for a podium position, but just edged out at the end. Pereira wins by 7.8 seconds. And coming to the line, the drag race for 3rd place was won. And 3rd place on the podium for Martin Ragginger. Carrera, Giaretti, Ragginger, your top 3 overall in race 1 in the rain at Shanghai. So formalities still to come for our first of 3 races this weekend. First one tomorrow, exactly the same. 12 laps or 30 minutes, and then it's 43 minutes plus a lap for the Endurance Cup. Remember that for the championship, our overall champion will gain entry to the Australian Carrera Cup round that supports the Aussie Grand Prix at Albert Park next year. And Enduro winners in each of the categories tomorrow in the last race, which is still a point scoring round for the season, remember. But those who win in the class, in addition to getting their class points, each of the 3 class winners will be invited, and I'll I'll be there with them. To the Maguire's Bathurst 12 hours in early February at the iconic Mount Panorama circuit at Bathurst for that Australia's International Enduro, and they'll be enjoying a VIP trip courtesy of Porsche Asia Pacific, Porsche Motorsport Asia Pacific, and I'll try and have a chat with them as well. So we'll be there covering that for you early next year in a stunning start to the 2025 season of endurance racing. I'll say plenty of Porsche action through Dubai, Rolex 24 and Bathurst, all on, and Abu Dhabi actually, Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Rolex 24 at Daytona, and then Bathurst are all on consecutive weekends from the middle of January to the start of February. Exciting start to next year, and some of the names that we've been talking about here this weekend already will be involved, as well as the Porsches. So the teams with precious little work to do other than polish the cars. I don't think we saw anybody in the gravel, so no major clean-up work. There was no massive side-by-side contact. I suspect that Mathieu Joubert had a little bit of contact with, I'm guessing it was Brock Gilchrist going down to turn 19, turn 14 and 15, because Brock was on the left-hand side of the track and Mathieu was on the right, and it looked to be the left-hand side of that number 99 car that was damaged, or the left-hand rear wheel at least. He did get it across the line, nets himself a 9th position, 7th in class, but that means he's lost ground to both Alessandro Giretti at the front of the field, and possibly even more importantly, in the battle for second, to Dylan Pereira, who's squeaked quite a few points on him there and pulls that 16. I reckon he's halved that 16-point lead, Pereira. I had the point for pole as well, of course, so I need to add that on as well. We'll do the arithmetic before we see you tomorrow, but that has definitely closed things up at the top of the field. Well, the Bendham looking splendid for over 100 years old is on the podium. The champagne is there. We're just waiting for our VIPs and the drivers. The reminder to join us again tomorrow for race 2 of 3. That's first thing in the morning. Check the website, Carrera Cup Asia.com, and the Facebook is also Carrera Cup Asia. Right, let's head down to the podium for the formalities.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the podium presentation for round 14 for Porsche Carrera Cup Asia 2024 in Shanghai. We are going to invite the winners of round 14 for Porsche Carrera Cup Asia 2024 in Shanghai for the overall class. 是的，先生们、女士们，欢迎大家来到亚洲保时捷凯迪拉杯2024年赛季第14回合的颁奖仪式。首先，我们要颁发的奖项是给专业组的赢家们。On third place, we have driver number 86, Martin Rackinger from Team Porsche Holding. And on second place, we have driver number 55, Alessandro Giretti from Team Jepson. And this round, we have our champion is driver number 5, Dylan Pereira from Team Shanghai Honda BWT. And that goes to our dealer trophy winner, goes to Team Shanghai Honda BWT. And now I'm glad to invite Mr. Alexander Polish, the President and CEO of Porsche China, to present the winner trophy. 现在我们有请保时捷中国总裁及首席执行官潘立时先生颁发奖项。And next, I would like to invite Mr. Simon Kunimhoff, the Chief Operating Officer of Porsche China. 有请保时捷中国首席运营官颁奖 to present the dealer trophy. And next on, we'd like to invite Ms. Sheng Tantastra, the Vice President and CFO Porsche China, to present the second place trophy. 有请保时捷中国副总裁及首席财务官洪生女士颁发第2个奖杯。And next on, I would like to invite Mr. Sky Chow, the Vice President Marketing Porsche China, to present the third place trophy. 我们有请乔家琪先生，保时捷中国市场部副总裁颁发奖项。And now may I invite everybody to come closer for a group photo together, please. Be careful, it's a little bit slippery. So big smiles, everybody, over to the camera. Another big round of applause to our winners for the overall class. Thank you so much to all of our award presenters. And ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready for some champagne time.
As if there needed to be any wetter, it is Dylan Carrera who is getting most of the bottles of champagne, particularly from Alessandro Ciaretti. I was about to say Martin Ragging has had the sense to dissipate, but actually he's not. He just couldn't get the cork out the bottle of his champagne. Oh, Martin. So experienced. There's a good set of camaraderie there from that top three. You can see it.
Congratulations to our winners for the overall class for round 14 of Porsche Carrera Cup Asia 2024. 再次恭喜第14回合的专业组赢家们。
Thanks to Sammy down there on the podium. Well, it could quite easily have been the weather that was the winner there, but I think excellent skill shown by all of the drivers right the way through meant that we had a pretty clean race, and the overtaking that happened was decisive and incisive and well planned. I was impressed with that right the way through the field. It's not to say that one or two people didn't go off, and of course we had the Mathis Joubert incident which cost him possibly a podium position. So there was clearly some side-to-side combat there. Let's go back to the podium ceremonies with Sam.
And on first place, we have driver number 77, Eric Dang from Toro Racing. Woo! And now we are glad to invite Mr. Alexander Polish, the President and CEO of Porsche China, to now present the winner trophy. 我们有请保时捷中国总裁及首席执行官潘立驰先生颁发冠军奖杯。And now I would like to invite Ms. Sheng Tantastra, the Vice President and CFO of Porsche China, 保时捷中国副总裁及首席财务官洪生女士来颁发亚军奖杯。And now I would like to invite Mr. Sky Chow, the Vice President Marketing of Porsche China, 有请乔家琪先生，保时捷中国市场部副总裁 to present the third place trophy， 颁发季军奖杯。Now let's get everybody to come closer for a group photo， 让我们一起来张合影。Okay, be careful, it's slippery. All right, everybody, big smiles over to the camera. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for our award presenters. It's time for us to celebrate again with the champagne.
So the celebrations for Pro-Am, and congratulations to the very emotional Eric Tsang, who drove a perfect race. Now, can he back that up tomorrow with a couple of races? Just a reminder of the Am podium. Eric Kwong from Munthon Sathin Thirakul, and Hubo in third. Here's Sammy.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to invite the winners of round 14 of Porsche Carrera Cup Asia 2024 in Shanghai for the M Class. 接下来让我们有请颁发绅士组的奖项。On the third place, we have driver number 22, Hu Bo from Z Speed Motorsport. And on second place, we have driver number 76, Munkong Santian Tiraku from EBM Giga Racing. And the champion goes to driver number 23, Eric Kwong from Bergwerk Motorsport. And we also have the Endurance Challenge Best Newcomer Trophy. Winner goes to driver number 669, Han Songting from Porsche on Retail 69 team. And now I would like to invite Mr. Alexander Polish, the president and CEO of Porsche China, to present the winner trophy. 我们有请保时捷中国总裁及首席执行官潘力石先生颁发冠军奖杯。来，掌声鼓励一下。And we are also glad to invite Ms. Sheng Tantashter, the Vice President and CFO of Porsche China, to now present this second place trophy. 我们有请保时捷中国副总裁及首席财务官洪生女士颁发亚军奖杯。来，掌声有请。And next on, I would like to invite Mr. Sky Chow, the Vice President Marketing Porsche China, to present the third place trophy. 我们有请保时捷中国市场部副总裁乔家琪先生颁发竞勋奖杯。And last but not least, I would like to invite Mr. Sylvain Mouradian, the Marketing B2C from Michelin China VP, to present the Endurance Challenge Best Newcomer Trophy. 我们有请米其林中国副总裁、市场部总监穆华迪先生来颁发耐力赛挑战赛的最佳新人奖。来，掌声恭喜我们所有的台上的赢家们。Can I invite all of our award presenters to now join our winners for a group photo together? Now with big smiles, thumbs up, and look in the camera, ready, 1, 2, 3.
I hope they're all got Michelin wet compound on the bottom of their shoes.
Thank you so much to all of our award presenters. Ladies and gentlemen, time for our celebration time.
For the final time today, but with 2 more races to go tomorrow. And still, only the Pro-Am Championship is absolutely decided. In the overall, Alessandro Giuretti will come into tomorrow with a slightly increased lead over Mathieu Chaubert, but Dylan Pereira closing in on both of them in third place in the championship. 2 races to go tomorrow, a standard 12 lap or 30 minutes plus the 43 minute plus 1 lap for the endurance challenge as well. Congratulations to Dylan Pereira, Eric Chang and Eric Kwong, our winners today. I'm John Hindorf. Join me tomorrow for 2 more exciting Porsche Carrera Cup Asia races.